Do you feel like you have all the ideas, like there's this swirl of ideas and you just can't find the idea? Maybe you even feel like a jack of all trades and a master of none. Like you need to niche down, like you just can't find the thing, like everyone else around you is doing all these ideas that you also have in your brain, but you literally have not acted on them, and so you just feel like you are behind. In today's episode, we are going to teach you how to go from idea to execution and finally get your ideas and your impact out into the world. All right, let's go. Welcome back to the Multi-Passionate Mompreneur podcast, where we choose to focus our energy, embrace our strengths, and move toward the compelled businesswomen we were meant to be. It's time to free ourselves from the chaos and the constant stream of ideas and build a life of impact and joy that honors our hard stuff, that makes meaning of our losses, and that helps us to make an impact in the world. It's time to finally take our power back and gain the follow-through that we've been desperately needing, while also learning to leave the swirl behind. I'm Angel McElhaney, motherless daughter, self-discovery junkie, and not so master juggler of my crazy crew. And I believe you can have it all. So put down that to-do list, grab that coffee, and let's get to work, one day at a time, together. Okay, so some of you are going to be blown away by these 3 steps that I have for you to go from idea to execution. In fact, that's just a joke. It is so simple in this episode. I just want to give it to you straight that to make it simple, you have an idea, and then you need to let yourself have that idea permission to kind of dream, to build it bigger, to figure out the vision and the impact that it could make for someone, and then you make a goal. Now, of course, I just simplified your whole problem in 3 steps, but it is really idea, dream, and goal. And so in order to make that to where it will actually be actionable so that you'll actually do it, and so that you can actually see the influence, the impact, and the income that you could possibly get from your idea, you do need to kind of slow down to speed up. And what that could mean is that you have all of these ideas. So you need to get them out. So get them all out. And then I want you to figure out which one of these ideas is the idea by figuring out the why behind it. So this is nothing new. I'm not going to claim the whole find your why thing, but there is some power in knowing the thing that kind of makes you angry or makes you have some sort of emotion that is strong, because that is something that is going to, I feel like, fire you up whenever energy is low. And so I want you to think back to times where you have had those kind of feelings, where you've been really angry, you've been really sad, you've been really happy, or you've had hard stuff sometimes. And so I want you to go back to those times and figure out the transformation that you had to go through to get out of that. And that, chances are, is probably the thing that is going to be your big idea, because it's going to be tied to emotion. Now, I next want you to think about the vision. So the question I want you to ask yourself is, what is the change or the impact that I want to get out for someone else? So sometimes we can listen to all the input, that it's all out there, there's so much, and we can kind of get lost in the doing, in the I need to do this step and then this step and then this step, that we actually lose the big picture. We kind of lose ourselves in that, and we start becoming like everyone else. And so I want you to embrace the uniqueness that is you, and I want you to think about the impact, the things that are going to happen because you stuck with it. And it's best for me if you just start out with like doing the brain dump and then figuring out, telling the story of the person that you are going to help in some way. And so what that's going to do is it's really going to help that person kind of be the hero, but it's going to give you some steps, and it's going to make those steps make sense. Because I don't know about you, but I can be a little stubborn. So if I have the big picture and I have a reason for my thinking, like a reason why I have to do X, Y, Z, then I can point back to that whenever I'm in the thick of it and I don't want to do the next thing. Another thing that I can do is I can remove things that aren't serving that main thing, that main dream. And so what this can be is a way for you to kind of really kind of look at that compass and see, like, did you stray off track? Did you get input from this over here, and you need to redirect to your internal compass, so if you will. And then the next thing is goals. And I know this is the time where everyone is wanting to be all about the goals. And it's very much, I'm all for New Year's resolutions. I'm all for goals all the time. I'm not even saying that. But for some time, I have always thought like, oh, Angel, you just need more focus. as a squirrel here, as an ADD, like Enneagram 8, wing 7, like that part of me is there. The super distractibility, the like all of these negative things that I can pull out. Loves to start projects, but not necessarily finish. All of these things, but I'm not really pulling out the good things. Like that I can really quickly learn and hyper focus on some things. Like I can be such a great helper and just all of these positive things. We are built to kind of look at the negative. So when it comes to goals, I don't want you to think about all of the things that are fixing necessarily the things that you currently have, because what happens is we're not looking at gratitude for that. But I want you to think of big strategy in the way of getting traction. So the opposite of focus isn't or distractibility isn't focus, it is actually traction. So that's that whole taking that next step, kind of taking the next step. And that comes back to habits. So basically what I'm telling you to do is think of the big picture. Or hold on, let's back up. Clarity on who you are and what you need and what you want and who in the world you are going to help with your impact by asking yourself that key question. And then I want you to move to your big picture vision. What is the vision that you have for your mission or for that person? And then I want you to prepare yourself, because there's going to be some fears that are setting in. There's going to be some doubt. There's going to be some imposter syndrome. There's going to be some voices in your head, not in a bad way, that are going to try to bring you back down to earth, that are going to try to keep you small, that are going to try to honestly keep you safe. Your brain is wired to do that. And then what I want you to do is with that, prepare yourself for what could go wrong. Like maybe even do that exercise. I have a self-discovery workbook that kind of goes through this. Let me know, shoot me a DM if you want a link to it. I actually don't have it in my shop or anything right now, but it's a great tool for you to kind of prepare yourself for what could go wrong and kind of rewrite that story so that you can prepare for it, because most of the time the thing that could go wrong is really not that bad. And then what I want you to do, now that you have that big picture, you have kind of prepared for any fears or things that could come in your way, I want you to then focus on the habits. What are the things that this person in that big picture vision actually does daily? And then start being her. Start being her by doing those small steps. And then lastly, I want you to surround yourself by people. I've said this over and over again. People need people to get through the hard stuff, but I want you to kind of protect your mindset by building a community, by taking chances. But, we are the risk takers. I feel like as multi-passionates, you're the triers, you are the rebels. You don't always have to go and do it the way that everyone else is doing it. And so I feel like that is innovation, and that is, I feel like strength that is so much needed out in the world. And so I don't want you to get so lost in the noise around you that you don't zero in onto all of this awesomeness. Okay. And so with that, you're going to have community. You're going to have a commitment to see it through, because you're going to keep pointing back to that big picture vision. I hope this is helpful for you guys to kind of go from idea to execution in the way of figuring out, zoning in on all those pieces: clarity, vision, prepare, habits, and then lastly, that mindset. That mindset is so important, and it is something that really every single person needs. In fact, chances are right now you have a mentor and you think that they have it all together, and everyone shows their highlight reel, but I can guarantee you that everyone needs words of encouragement. Everyone needs share someone's thing today. That is the action step I want to give you. Yes, it can be about you, but it really is about everyone else too. And so that will up-level your energy if you just share someone, maybe on your stories, celebrate someone. If they're actually in your field, that's even better. In this day and age, I feel like everyone's like, oh, you can't post XYZ in my group, and you can't do this, and you're in my similar field, so I can't have you on my podcast. No, just break those rules, because what that is it's getting you to where you are in this lack scarcity mindset, and that is not what is going to help you in 2021. All right, I hope this is helpful for you guys, and I want to give you a special invitation to come over to Mompreneur Mastermind. We are actually doing a special workshop on productivity and mindfulness, and this is going to be a free workshop that is going to help you to really get so many tools in your tool belt for 2021. I'm going to be a speaker, one of actually 12 speakers that is going to give you the 12 days of Christmas, and each day you can come in there and you can get filled up with some positive words, some collaboration, some community, and of course, connection. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Find me over on social media at angel.mcilhaney on Instagram, same thing over on Facebook, and I can't wait to see you over there. Until next time, Wishing you joy and abundance, Angel. Hey mama, before you go, if you found value in today's podcast or you learned something new, stop over to iTunes and leave me a review. I love hearing what you are thinking of the show and also connecting with you over on social media. You can find me on Instagram at angel.mcilhaney or on Facebook. So check the show notes for that crazy last name. And until next time, I just want to remind you, you are capable, you are strong, and you can do the hard things. Wishing you joy and abundance, Angel.